working, a little bit busy, but all it's good. All it's okay.
Oh, what were you doing? What kind the?
I was in a meeting. Yeah, I was
Oh,
in a meeting.
that's good. And we were just talking about technology, like different mainstream technologies that are out, and we're talking about also the economy and taxes, and
And
the differences in taxes. Like in Colombia, there's high taxes. That's
Okay.
really
Yeah.
just yes. And what do you think about the taxes? You think they're too much, maybe compared to some other places that you've been?
Yeah, I think yeah, in Colombia we have a lot of taxes and such high tax too. Yeah, because here you almost pay taxes for everything. Yeah, if you have a house, a car, a business, um, everything I think. And here the finals legal rules usually are better or maybe help to the government, but not the people, the working people, or like as as Luis sometimes says, like the niggas people. Yeah,
Oh my!
it means us. Yeah, yeah,
And people are they must work maybe two jobs to be able to live.
yeah. I think it's unfair for us. Yeah,
in Colombia here, I think that black people is the poorest people here, you know,
But
and
what do
they
they
are.
do? What do they do with the taxes usually? What? How do they spend the tax money?
They bribe all the they just bribe all the resources, you know. For example, now
Oh,
we've got a really bad problem in we have a port, you know, Buenaventura. It's the biggest port in
Yeah.
Colombia. All the merchandise is getting in here in this country through that port. But the violence and the poverty there, that city, that it has to be richer because all the resources that they are receiving because of the port, all the money that is managed by those people, those
yeah,
bribes, just disappear. So the black people, because most of people who lives there is black people, most of black people they are really poor people, and you can see nowadays here in Buenaventura, you can see how the gangsters are fighting each other with AK-47. How do you say that? A Kalashnikov rifles, and
oh
they are
man!
fighting with those kind of weapons. So it's really a really bad situation. And the central government here in Colombia, as always, they are not doing nothing for them. So it's and they receive
We
a lot of taxes because of the port, but the
we
money
have
just
a lot of
disappears.
violence. We have a lot of violence here too because people have guns and they kill it and they're killing the
Yeah, it's
different
in
citizens. Like in the cities, you always hear about the shootings and
Yes,
like
yes.
the random
yeah,
shootings and yeah.
because it's
Uh,
more easier to get a gun in there, right? Like,
Yes, it's easier to get guns.
yes,
Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah.
It needs to end. Yeah.
I read some studies about what are the benefits of having weapons. For example, in America, that the levels of the security are higher because the thieves they are frightened of finding another person with another weapon. So they, how can we say, they think better if they want to rob somebody, you know.
yeah,
But here in
Yes.
Colombia, like because anybody have a weapon, it's really weird that a person has a weapon. So the thieves are always robbing with fake guns or guns because they thought that we are not gonna defend ourselves. So they
yeah.
take the most of that opportunity, and that's why it's
They
really
don't care
common here.
about it. Yeah, here in Colombia, they don't care about if you have a gun. because he has another gun, maybe. But I think they don't feel afraid about it. Yeah, regarding this.
Or they maybe have toy guns and they pretend that it's a real gun.
It's not just one, more than one now. Yeah.
And have you ever thrown up at a party?
In a party? Yes.
Have you ever thrown up at a party before?
Before or after?
Before
when
or after? Or while you were
or
at the
during
party?
the party or after the party?
Or during.
Worse. I think that the most of people had to do that, because we start to drink as crazy. And here in Colombia, for example,
In
in
Colombia
Popaya,
or Pasto? In Colombia or Pasto? It's different. Yeah.
no, but I think that, for example, we as people from Pasto, at least in Popayan or in other cities, we are known as people who drink a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So a
yeah.
lot of times we have thrown, at least me when I was in Medellin, I was always,
Yeah,
that
it's
first days I was always
Wait,
drinking
you were always drinking a lot and throwing up, and
because I had a band, hardcore, and
But
rock
oh,
music.
you were always partying. You had the party life.
no, but I think that the pastosos people, it's not like okay, yeah, we drink a lot, but at the same time we drink a lot, but we don't usually get drunk or so drunk as other people from other cities, for example. This is the difference for us. At least for me or my friends, it's this. For example, I have been in Pasto, then in Manizales, then in Medellin, then in San Francisco. Absolutely, now I'm living in Bogota, and it's the same thing. Yeah, the most of the people say to me, "Oh, the people who is from Pasto drink a lot, and they usually never get drunk." And it's a little bit right. I don't know why it happened with us, with our system, because I can say that I got drunk. Yeah, I usually get drunk when I drink or go to the party, but it happens usually in Pasto, more than here, for example. But I don't get drunk like others because they get more drunk than me, and we usually drink the same quantity of liquor. Yeah.
Oh, why do people like to get drunk?
I don't know. For example, for me now, in this age, for me now, usually I just drink a lot in Pasto when I visit my old friends, like my childhood friends and my school friends. Yeah, with them. But for example, when I'm here in Bogota or in another city, usually I don't like drunk. Yeah, I just like wine. Yeah.
But
I really love wine,
uh,
but it's like for a cup or to have a conversation with a friend, something like this, but not like got drunk with, for example, when we are in carnival.
and
It's different. Yeah.
do you let people buy you drinks when you're at a place? Do you let random people buy you drinks when they're like, "Would you like? I will buy you this drink," and do you say no, no?
Here in
No,
No.
Colombia, I think
I
that is
think
not
that
No.
common, that,
it's
right?
Yeah, I'm more in here, I think. I don't know.
I think that is not common because
yeah,
you
it's
Oh,
not
just go out
common.
with the
Mm,
group of your friends and you drink just
yeah,
with your friends.
oh, like here it
yeah,
happens. Here it happens when you go to like a club or a bar, and then the guys they go to up to the girls and they say, "I would like to buy you a drink," and they buy them
no,
the drink.
I have never
But
done that
sometimes
actually.
happen. Yeah, sometimes I have had this like experience or like a moment. But for me, it's like how can I say? It's weird. I usually I got like afraid a little bit, and I say no thanks, so thanks. But it
yeah, but
depends. For example, sometimes it was such a handsome guy. It was different. Yeah, it was different. it was different, and I was like, "Nice to meet you. I'm Daniela.
Yes,
How's
of
your
course.
name? I'm single, and you." Stuff like this. But it's different. It depends of the of the person. Yeah, it depends
Of
of
the
the person.
physique of the person.
Yeah, always it depends of the person because sometimes
The
another
physical
time.
appearance of the person.
Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
another time I was with a friend in a bar. It was in Pasto, even in Pasto, and we were three girls, and some guy, I think it was some guy wanted to dance with us, and he asked it for the three for us, and the three say no thanks, no thanks, and he was trying and trying and trying again, almost would say like, oh no, because she's my girlfriend and I'm her girlfriend, and almost we were like a couple, but no couple, it was three girls between us. Yeah, and we said to him like, no, we don't want to dance with you, drink with you, and stuff like this. I think for the girls it's like a more difficult for from the guys. Yeah. And for example, in Pasto, the guys usually are such a humanizers and say a lot of things. It is common there, I think. Yeah.
It's more common to be a womanizer in Colombia, I
Yeah.
guess, than in the
Actually,
U.S.
actually, the womanizers.
And a lot of womanizer, yeah. Not like us. We are so shy and quiet, like us.
No, I don't know how to say that in English, but uh, the girls here appears to be really, you know, how can we say it? They pretend to be really judicious person or really, a saint.
A
But
saint, but
but
no, they are not saint.
when you turn your back, they are really they're the thing,
A
But I think
different person.
yeah, yes, something like that.
Yes, hypocritical. Hypocr-
Maybe yes.
But I
No.
think
But
it's the same for the guys. Yeah, usually they pretend to be like a judicious guys, and then
Yes.
Wow, it's the
but
yeah,
same.
because that
depends.
you usually give us a
Yes, of course.
surprise as a guy.
Yes, of
Yeah,
course. But I
it
think that, for
applies for
example,
the buff. Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah.
meeting new people in discos or bars. I don't like when I visit the bars. I'm just going out with my friends.
Yeah. When you
And when I meet new people, it's I don't know, maybe because, for example, in the things that I like sports. So, for example, when I play American football, some girls who were watching us, and they start to ask to us, hey, how you are practicing that here in Pasta? So we start to talk each other. But or when I play before
Mm,
when I had my band, we had some concerts. So some of them just invited some drinks. So we start to talk each other. But
mm. And
of places
and
meeting new people, I don't like
yeah.
actually.
Aleja, have you ever dozed off at the end of a movie or a
Sorry.
lesson or a meeting before?
Have you what? Sorry.
Have you ever dozed off at the end of a movie or a lesson or a meeting?
Where you with those?
Oh,
I don't.
dozed off is like fall asleep. This is what
Ah,
it means.
Like
Yes,
sleep, right?
yes, yes.
I think
Sleeping.
You know,
is it another thing
Just for
for another
example,
one?
my grandma always dozes off in the movies. Whenever we go to the movie,
Yeah.
she never is able to see a movie because she will
Yeah.
fall asleep.
I think my mom is like she's like very she's like on the Sundays like Aleja, we need to watch a movie because we don't watch a movie like all the time. I'm like, yes, and I put the movie and in the beginning she's fall asleep like near me and he's like And in the middle of the movie, she is like, I wake up and ask me for everything. And what is that person? Who you like that? What is acting like that? What is happening? And it's like, yeah, it's like all the time happening that, I think. With my parents, they don't like so good for watching movies. But in classes,
Dozed off.
Yes, dozed off.
Those are.
Is to fall asleep. Dozed off. The
Those are.
machine voice.
I remember that I used to feel that when I got a really long trial. We speak at midnight all day long when just the lawyer of the lawsuit was talking and explaining the last ideas to try to win the case. I was just sitting next to the judge because I'm a kind of a secretary there. I was like dozed off, and it was really weird because I just remember that I was watching the lawyer just talking and talking and talking, and suddenly I was just trying to hit in my face with the screen of the computer and closing my eyes. It was really, really long.
Yes, he needs to maybe summarize more or something. He needs to like get to the point.
Yes, it
Al
was like that.
grano, to the point.
Not beating around the bush.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Maria, have you ever fallen for a good-looking guy? this
Really? What is similar, like for my school was
Fallen is like you I'll write this fallen. How do I explain?
yeah, okay. For a guy? Yeah,
Yes, this is the question.
I think like whatever people I think that is like have a crush with somebody or something like that. Like me, yes. Like it's normal, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that I have I don't know, like crush when I had like 11 with a tennis partner friend, and yeah, that was very funny because we have like a tournaments on Cali and we try like I don't know like everything, but I never can.
You were just young.
But you are shy. But when you have a crush, you are shy. For example.
Yeah. Or I don't know. For example, for me, like when I like crush with somebody and I finally we have something I can say. Something is happening. I don't know. For example, they far away or something like that, or I need to do something, or I need to go, or they something like that, and it's like so simple. But yeah.
You feel a spark.
Yeah.
Yes, the spark, exactly.
Yeah, it's just
and then like hopefully if you have something to talk about, then that's good.
Yeah.
And do you hit it off with people from the start?
Yes. What? Hit it off?
Do you hit it off with people from the start? Like, are you able to easily start a conversation?
Okay, I don't know. For example, it depends on. For example, when I was like in the same group of friends, and I like try to start a conversation and this kind of thing is like kind of cool. But for example, it's like for me when I start to meet a new person, I start to try the conversation. I am very shy in that way. Like I don't know, just like how to start a conversation. I mean, like so I don't know, like that way. But when I like to feel confidence or something like that, I'm very like friendly that way.
That's good. And Danny, have you ever fallen for a good-looking or smooth guy?
Probably no. I'm not sure. No, or maybe yes. I was when I was younger. I was fall with Robert Pattinson. You know the actor who played
Twilight?
Edward in the
Yeah.
yeah. I
In the
really
TV
like
show,
him.
yeah. Or what was
Yeah.
it? The hospital show, I think.
Yeah, I
I'm
really
not
like
sure.
him. Yeah, I really liked him when I was, I think, 15 or 14. Yeah, and for example,
Yeah.
these movies are one of my favorite movie for
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I can see it one time, another, and I always love it. Yeah, all the movies about this story.
yeah.
And yes, and have you ever asked your parents for something until they give in?
Have you ever? Could you repeat, please?
Or have you ever asked your parents for anything until they gave in? For example, I can write
Yeah.
this. Have you ever asked your parents for anything until they gave in, where they decide to give you what you want, for example?
Give me something to me.
Oh, like you asked your parents something until they give you what you want. That's what they.
Yeah,
Yes.
like if I ask them for anything that I want, right?
Yes.
Yeah, when I was a child,
Or like
the
in
Christmas
you,
gift, for
like
example.
over and over again, did you ask them for something until eventually they said yes?
Yeah, but when I was a child, yeah. For example, for the Christmas gift or like awards after the academic period or something like this, I usually start to ask to my mom or my father if I got the first place in my class. I want to get I don't know, like for example, for me, my preferred or my favorite award for these kind of things about my school, it was always go for a shrimp uh, for a dinner with my mom to eat shrimps. It was my best gift for me when I was in the school. Yeah, when I got the first place in the class or something like this. I usually try to my mom to give me this. Yeah,
Uh,
especially to my mom. Yeah.
and Freddie, have you ever fallen for a gorgeous woman, a smooth woman?
Big
Yes,
and
of
false.
course, of course. No, no, no. I don't know. I've watched a lot of beautiful women. When I was in Russia, I met a really beautiful girl, and I was actually she was sharing the room with me. I mean, the next room because she invited to me to live with her some days, and we started to become a really close friends. And she was really really beautiful. It's I don't know. It's Slavic beauty, you know. It's not common here in Pasta, of course, but
Yes.
I think that she was really gorgeous. She was like I don't know, Valkyrium. Have you heard about these kind of gods? When you watch, for example, movies uh, of gods and Norse myths or something like that, you discover that the description of the girl, of the god, you know, you Freya, for example, the name of the god. she was really really pretty. She was like really white and really blonde girl. The eyes I have never watched the color of
Really
her eyes, so it was
Russian
really
girl.
good.
Really, really Russian girl.
Yeah,
But
Yes,
that's how people, I guess, are whenever in a certain country, whenever a person is not as common, then they are seen as more attractive. Their features are not as common, then they're seen as more attractive.
yes,
And
because I was Latino there.
yes,
Yes,
It
that's
usually
why.
happens. Yeah, it
yes.
usually happens. When I was in San Francisco, it was the same. For example, when I got in some store, usually the cashier said to me like, "Oh, but you are Latina girl, right? You don't have a American face." And it was okay. Yeah, I'm Colombian girl. Ah, I know it. Yeah. It was like if I had an advertisement in my
yeah.
head. I'm a Colombian girl. I'm a Latina girl. Yeah.
But when I was in Germany, in Berlin, a guy I
Yeah.
remember that he was close to me and he told me, "Are you Muslim?" I was,
What,
what?
because of the beard, I guess? Mm.
I don't
Like
know.
Colombia.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm from South America. He was, oh man, really?
Oh,
That
man, sorry.
was
But
You
really
I
almost
guess
don't
Muslim is
notice.
not a look. It's not a specific look. It's like a religion. A religion. It should
Yeah.
be.
But he told me
Like,
Muslim because of the bird, I think. Yes, because I was traveling around Europe and I didn't shave, so I had my beard really long. Maybe for that. I'm not sure.
Have you always had a beard before for your whole life? Since you were an adult, have you always had a beard?
Yes, but no, no. Actually, I had a girlfriend who didn't like the mustache, so
Yeah.
I was shaving my face and I just leave my this part of the beard.
Yeah.
But after that, I decided to just let let it grow up. So I think that I've got beard 6 or 7 years ago.
what a lot of
Oh,
time.
Yes, and I
okay.
don't like shaving actually right now. Before it was common that guys here in Pasto just shave all the face, and then starts a kind of a tendency that all the
For the
guys
Yeah.
decided
quarantine,
Straight up
leave the
Barbary.
bird. So I said, it's my opportunity, so
uh,
I'm gonna let it
these
grow up.
are the
This
quarantine
is my
beards.
moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, these are the quarantine beards.
Yeah.
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 And then, oh yeah, and I saw one time, I don't know where it was, like on some forum online or something. Oh, WhatsApp group. I was on a WhatsApp group, and then they were like, oh, and in that time in history, if you didn't have a mustache, you weren't a real man. It was funny, and they said it was
Yes.
like talking about the '80s or something, and all these music artists had like these mustaches, and they're like, "Oh, if you didn't have a mustache, you weren't a real man." It was funny.
Something like that. Yes.
Yeah. And anyway, I